halfway between the Keweenaw Peninsula and Isle Royale. You can kind of see it back here behind me. It's already rising up out of the lake, and if you can see on here while we're running quite fast, Gitche Gumee, the big lake, is quite calm today. We got less than a foot on the swell. It's such a nice run today. One thing that is way different than I'm used to at home is the water temperature. Surface temp, 38.5 degrees. I don't think there'll be any cold plunging today. But like I said, we're halfway across. It's a gorgeous day so far, and I can't wait to see what else Isle Royale has to offer for us.
To the east end of the lake now. Had a great time out on Isle Royale. Had a nice smooth cruise on the way out. Same thing on the way back. Picked up a little bit as the seas do here as the day went on, but Isle Royale did not disappoint. Maybe a little bit disappointing. No moose, but we had some amazing hikes around Wendigo up the Washington Creek and the inlet you take to get in there. We did a couple different hikes with Dad. Found some moose tracks, not the ice cream, the actual prints, and such big footprints for hoof prints from these massive mammals out there, but couldn't find any. Looked around, couldn't find any. They move around more, I guess, early in the morning and in the evenings, and since we were out there on a day trip, we just weren't there for their times, but had an amazing time out there hiking nonetheless. Just absolutely gorgeous, untouched nature out there. I mean, some of the biggest local vegetation that I've seen in Florida. Biggest thing was the birch trees out there. Like seeing them around, usually I've seen them smaller ones and real papery bark. These ones were so big you can barely get your arms around, and the bark had actually started turning like a regular tree bark, like a harder bark. But just massive, yeah, almost prehistoric looking, walking through some of these ferns as tall as I was. Just a great day trip that we had. Would have been great to spend some more time out there, but even as a day trip, we had a blast. It was gorgeous running in there, this nice deep inlet coming up to Wendigo Harbor. Once we docked, met with the rangers at their information station, super knowledgeable and nice. Gave us the ideas for where to go for our hikes, and even had a board of where like local sightings had been for wildlife around there. They even have a gift shop attached to them, and then there's a general store that has all kinds of provisioning stuff, whatever food and hiking stuff you may need that you might have forgotten coming out there. Also, again, all kinds of souvenirs, because you got to get stickers, right? So we had just an amazing time out there. Just incredible how quiet it was. Like when we were on these hikes, no hums of motors, cars, anything, just wind and wildlife. So after our time there, made our way back into Houghton, and then yesterday said goodbye to Dad and Barb and made our way back east. Had a pretty good run most of the day. Seas did pick up as we got closer over here to Whitefish Point. Before we made our turn in, heading south from our easterly trip, ran out to the marked location of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. This year is the 50th anniversary of the sinking in November. So ran out there to pay some respect before we headed south. And then I'll tell you what, once we headed south, that's where the seas were coming out of. seas built up pretty quick. We kind of got beat up coming in. Probably hit some 4-footers, maybe an occasional 5 coming in here. But luckily, just around the point is the Whitefish Point harbor. Small little refuge kind of harbor. No real facilities here. They do have what they refer to as primitive bathrooms, which means there's an outhouse. So if you're cruising, you're on generator or battery power, and bathrooms are all on the boat. But it does have a nice high seawall, so even though it was pretty nasty last night, we slept comfortable inside here, listening to the wind and waves crash on the outside. Things have died down today, so we're going to get back underway here shortly. But for a spot to hang out for the 4th of July while cruising, this one wasn't bad. We could see the fireworks from the Sioux from here, and then just south is Paradise. They had fireworks going off, and while we were watching those, just south of the harbor, a family was lighting off fireworks. We had fireworks right over the top of the boat, so I had a great time watching the fireworks. We had a cookout on the boat with some food we got while we were out on Isle Royale. We found a package of what ended up being local hot dogs from Hancock, Michigan, so right across the waterway from Houghton, which were absolutely delicious, and had that and some got a can of beans while we were out there, heated everything up. So we had a great 4th of July. Now we're looking to head back south, get down into Lake Michigan.